tell us about the decks that are playing in the first two that we're going to have on camera.
Yeah, we're going to start here with the match that is a definite winning in for both players. Very easy. You win, you're in. You lose, you're out. That is going to be Dylan Ham on 5-color creativity against Jeffrey Snodgrass on Rakdos mid-range. No scamming going on. We saw Snodgrass lose last round, so has another chance to cement his spot in the top 8 here. Again, the same matchup. So we're going to either see some, a cruel end to his tournament or a little bit of sweet revenge against 5-color creativity here in the last round. The other two matches playing is Ryan Winans on 4-color Rhinos against Justin Reams on Teamer Rhinos, and then Robert Kremians on Blue-White Narset, or Blue-White Days and Doing against Jonathan Parker on 4-color Rhinos. Those matches are both pair downs of a 13 against a 12, because Winans and Kremians already played against each other.
Okay.
They drew against each other. And so there's weird scenarios that can happen depending upon who exactly wins both of those matches to see who sneaks into the last spot. It's either going to be an X1-1 or an X2, but it could really be any of those four.
Okay. Well, pretty interesting stuff, but it's pretty clear cut. 6 hard locks already drawn in, and then we have 3 matches playing for just 2 slots, and the tiebreakers can go either way. 7 rounds is not a ton in the grand scheme of things, so tiebreakers can get really volatile in the later rounds. So we'll just have to see who wins and whose tiebreakers can hold to cement their top 8 spot. We've watched a lot of these players play already on camera or on backup, and so there's going to be some really close calls here, but hopefully we're going to have some great magic and have that for you in just a sec.
As far as our players who are already in the top 8, if people are interested about that, we already knew about TJ Radazak and Matthew McAllister playing Amulet and Jund respectively. They were the 5-0s that already drew and are drawing a second time. We've also got Nick Cowden, who we've seen today on 4-color Elementals, Eric Rose on 4-color Rhinos, Joey Lunds on Burn, and Jacob Fumich on 5-color Creativity. So nice. A lot of grindy mid-range decks, but we got the one Burn pilot who might make this a quick top 8.
We haven't seen Burn today, but me and you were talking about it before the event. I think Burn's pretty good against the Leyline Binding decks.
And the Creativity decks in particular often deal themselves quite a bit of damage.
Well, I remember we actually missed top 8 of the team up when we played because we lost to Burn in the Creativity matchup. That was big sad.
Yeah, Burn could be a spoiler here with all of these 4-color and 5-color decks. A lot of fetches and triomes going on.
Yeah, give me Impressive Progress one time. Impressive Progress reprint. But crap.
Burn and Amulet holding it down, looks like, for our linear deck aficionados in Modern.
Okay. Well, our players are almost ready in the feature match area. We'll be cutting to those in just a second. Looks like we're about ready. So on your left, we're going to have... Okay. Forgot the names. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Dylan Ham, the unfortunate owner of the worst breakers in the 5-1 bracket, so was unable to draw, getting the pair down to Snodgrass on 3-1-1 or 4-1-1. Sorry.
Gotcha. Well, it's been a long day so far, but we still got 4 full rounds of Magic. We're going to bring you all the top 8 this evening, as well as this last round of Swiss. The 2 players that we're going to have on camera here in just a minute are battling for one of those coveted top 8 spots. First place and second place of this event, both receiving qualifications to the regional championship in Anaheim next year, as well as an invitation to the Apex Gaming Invitational in just a few months' time.
Yeah. And the good news here for Dylan Ham is, he's got to play out this last round, but if he does win it and lock up his spot in the top 8, he will be the #1 overall seed. So we'll be on the play for every round he plays in the top 8.
Being on the play any good in Modern?
That's the reward you get for having bad breakers and having to play out the last round. Then you get to be on the play if you win it.
All right. So on your left, Jeffrey Snodgrass, 4-1-1 with Rakdos Rock. We say Rock, it's not Scam, right? This is the old school version with Dothy Voidwalker, Graven Cairns.
Yeah. There are some Furies in the deck, but no Griefs, no Undying effects. And this looks like a mulligan to 5 from Dylan Ham, relying on that Renin 6.
Oh, and not relying on it anymore because it's gone.
Yeah. Could have gone for a Steam Vents there off the wood.
Then you can't cast it. Then you can't cast the Renin 6.
Yeah, but I think at that point I'm just hoping to draw a green source because now I'm definitely not casting the Renin 6.
That's true.
At least then I got a shot.
But your mana is much, much worse. Not having the green source,
Well, you got to hope to draw it. When you're on a 5-card hand, like You gotta get lucky in a couple spots.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, Thoughtseize does take that Wrenn and 6, and we're going back Dillinham's way. Gonna untap and draw. So few cards in hand.
That looks like a steam vent's off the top, so
Yeah. Got a shock from Snodgrass. We'll see what the 2-drop of choice is. Spell Pierce in hand for Dylan, so
yeah. What else is that Spell Pierce doing here?
I don't know. We
A
got
ton of targets.
Ragavine connects, deals 2 damage. Treasure token generated and back Dylan's way. Let's see what he's got. No play on 3 either.
Drew a Meyer for turn, so would have been able to play that. Wrenn and 6.
Okay, buddy. He's already had like a draw step since then. I don't know what you're talking about.
Unfortunate here with the treasure from the Ragavan last turn. This Inquisition does not get spell pierced.
He lets it get spell pierced, so now he can dash Ragavine again, or maybe play something.
I mean, you know there's a creativity in hand.
Yeah, these players are playing very fast and a little loose. I'm not in love.
Well, if you've got like a bolt or a push here, you've got the creativity covered. But yeah, to me, it's just take the 2-for-1 here. Just pay the 2, get the creativity out. I think Ham might be saying, I don't have much, so I'm just going to hope there's no bolt over there.
Yeah, this is a desperation, indomitable creativity, and I don't think it's going to work out. Otherwise, Snodgrass's play seems very weird.
Yeah, immediately reaches for their hand, definitely has something. There's a push.
All right, we're going to go back Snodgrass's
Set up
way.
persist left in hand for Ham. Is that the draw for turn?
Not sure. We better look at it in just a minute. Both players keep putting their hand face on the table. Bunch of jerks. How am I supposed to do my job, Ross? If I can't see anything.
You know,
Not Daredevil.
maybe we'll just make up what cards they have in their hand.
Okay, Jeffrey Snodgrass about to play Underworld Breach. Just kidding. It's a dash.
And there's a Black Lotus.
Ooh, hit an 8-drop. We're going to be casting that. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. We need a treasure token on Snodgrass's side. I think he's going to go ahead and burn the treasure.
Okay, it wasn't a persist, it was an Archon. A Croxa will clear that away, so no hand left for Dillingham except for the card he just drew that turn. Looks
2
like,
Furies, I think. He's in Pyromancer with Ragavan in hand, and the 2 Furies going to get discarded.
yeah, I was going to say it looks like we're 2 cards short of the Croxa, but that is no longer the case.
Yeah, going to need a 4th land still, but now should have enough food in the graveyard for it. See if we have a land for the Ragavan as well. We do. Dillingham, very few or no cards in hand.
Yeah, gonna need to draw Dwarven Mine / fetch land plus creativity / transmogrify, I would think. Although with the Archon in the graveyard, a persist would also be great.
That's true. Persist is not usually very good, but here it would be great.
Spell Pierce, not great.
No. And Sacred Foundry of Land, Snodgrass going to be able to take care of the hand from Dillingham with the Croxa. Put a lot of pressure on him with the creatures in play.
And present lethal. And
Big Smush, 6 damage, down to 12 to Fairy Time Raveler. Oh, what about that one?
well, only the 1 treasure, so can't cast it.
Ah.
Oh,
And no Croxa? Maybe forgot about the Croxa.
But no help coming from Dillingham, and Snodgrass 1 game away from getting redemption the previous round and punching his ticket to our top 8.
Yeah, that was a very fast game 1. Rakdos really doing a number on the creativity deck. Of course, the double mulligan never helps, but multiple discard effects really stretch the resources thin, made for a desperation creativity because of low resources, a Hail Mary, and obviously just got blown out by the fatal push.
If there's one thing that Thoughtseize and Inquisition Kozilek are great at, it is punishing mulligans.
Yeah. Also, interacting for 1 mana. Ever heard of it? It's pretty good.
It's 2022, Todd. We interact with 0 mana in Modern now.
With I was gonna say with what? It's like, oh yeah, 8 cards or whatever. They're just insane.
So players going to go to their sideboards. Let's check these out, see what they have. First up for Snodgrass, we got 2 Blood Moons, 1 Chalice of the Void, 2 Collective Brutality, 3 Hidetsugu Consumes All, 1 Magus of the Moon, 3 Necromentia, 2 Obnixilis the Adversary, and 1 Turok the Dread Cantor, notably the 4th copy since there are 3 in the main. We noted last round, we like the Blood Moons, not so much the Maguses since Lightning Bolt cleanly answers it, and the 3 copies of Necromentia. Hidetsugu Consumes All is solid, can clear away a bunch of tokens, especially treasures.
Yeah, we also did see him bring it in the matchup last time he played it, so it's very possible that it comes in here again.
So yeah, all those probably coming in again. I would probably expect the 4th Turok. I think it's just a very strong card in the matchup, especially now that Leyline Binding is a key removal spell for them, that it dodges.
Sure.
And then probably not the Obnixilises. you're not really trying to grind super hard in this matchup from Snodgrass' side. You just want to disrupt them and get the game over with, because their end game is a lot better than yours.
Yeah, I mean, these little Rakdos decks play very similar to like old Jund decks, where you just want to go like Thoughtseize, Tarmogoyf, beat them down before they can really catch back up.
Yep.
You know, you use your cheap disruption to kind of stall them, slow them down. You break up some of their synergy, and it makes a lot of their other cards worse.
And then on Dylan Ham's side, there are 3 Flusterstorm, 2 Boseiju Who Endures, 1 Emrakul the Aeon's Torn, 3 Veil of Summer, 2 Nature's Claim, 1 Dress Down, and 3 Leyline of Sanctity.
Big one there, Veil Summer, going to be clutch. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get the green mana, but if you prioritize that early, that Veil Summer can just be devastating against a discard effect.
And Leyline of Sanctity, also good against the discard and Necromentia and Liliana of the Veil. And I also like the Emrakul the Aeon's Torn to help you if the the Necromentia does a resolve. So 7 solid cards to bring in there, I would say, for Dylan Ham.
All right, we're off to the race here. Both players still playing extremely fast, sideboarding quickly as well.
They must have dinner plans.
No kidding. I mean, I'm hungry. I'm just kidding. We just ate. Inquisition codes like a first turn play. Dylan Ham with just a tap land. We're going to see a hand. Veil Summer, Fable the Mirror Breaker, Creativity, Archon, and 2 lands.
Dylan Ham on the play here could have played a fetch land and held up Veil for a turn 1 discard spell. Decides to play a tap land, which is the normal level 0 play that you would make, and getting punished here, having his Veil taken by an Inquisition when that could have just stopped the Inquisition and drawn a card and denied his opponent information.
Yeah, if you're going to broaden Veil Summer, turn 1 is where you want it. And if you have a fetch land to get green mana, you have Stomping Ground in your deck. Just hold it out.
And it's not like there was another turn 2 play that, playing the tap land on turn 2 is going to prevent.
Yeah.
I think a misstep there from Dylan Ham, playing a bit on autopilot there.
All right, well, Snodgrass here, turn 2. No play from Dylan Ham on their turn 2.
Yeah. Taking the Veil does suggest more discard. Could be a Thoughtseize here or a Necromentia next turn.
I don't think it necessarily means that. I don't know if you've ever played against Veil Summer, but it just beats like half the cards in black by itself.
Yeah, but I would be tempted to take that Fable if I didn't have anything else the Veil was going to stop, because Fable is such a powerful card in this deck.
Well, maybe he's just banking on being able to deal with the token and hold up mana to handle like whatever big follow-up. The Rummage 2 is much worse against things like Liliana the Veil. Voidwalker also very good against the discard effect, because you just get to be able to play for free whatever they discard if they're not careful.
Yeah, so definitely don't want to be discarding an Archon unless you've got an immediate answer to the Gothy Voidwalker.
Now, you may be wondering why that Scalding Tarn is just chilling. That's because it's kind of underneath the Dothy Voidwalker. Every card that goes to the graveyard is instead exiled, and Dothy Voidwalker may play it. Here comes a Thoughtseize, and here comes an Archon of Cruelty. This is so sick. Thoughtseize, Dothy Voidwalker, such a brutal
this
combination.
game might be over real quick.
Yeah. You thought game 1 was fast. What about game 2?
Wow.
All right, Archon down.
We are seeing the power of Dothy Voidwalker.
Card was so cracked when it first came out, and it's still just as good. I'm so surprised people don't play it more often. Token gets eaten. A discard needs to happen.
Yeah, we're going to lose 3. Discards the Leyline, lose 3 life.
All right, well, we got to draw something fast. The game's not over. We got a loot 2. If we hit Fetch Land and Creativity, we can Archon back.
We had a Creativity in hand, right?
Sure. Well, we just need something to target them.
That's a Veil for turn.
Right.
Okay, let's remember our trigger.
All right, might be moving past it.
Oh, no.
Okay, all right, we're moving to discard.
Just hasn't
here.
put the die on it. Only discarding 1.
Wants to keep the Veil Summer. Graven Cairns doesn't tap for mana here. There's no...
Let's find the fetch land. So
all right.
Is there a removal spell in Snodgrass' hand? But yeah, he left up Graven Cairns. So you're not scared of any removal spell here. Dylan Ham going to be able to make his own Archon, deal with the one Snodgrass stole from him, and undo that card advantage.
All right, so here's what's happening. We are eating the Dwarf token. That's going to tutor up an Archon of our own. That edict effect is going to force a discard. It's going to draw a card. Going to drain some life. And now, Dylan Ham, with just a 4-mana Indomitable Creativity, is looking to dominate this game, even after getting obliterated by that Dothy Voidwalker.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised Ham did not discard the Veil as well to dig deeper.
Oh, yeah, if he missed the land, he dead.
Well, the Veil can stop the Archon trigger for a turn, but you have to cast it preemptively. You don't draw a card off of it.
Yep.
And then you still only see one more card, which is a card you're going to see anyway. But it takes the risky line, now gets the Archon, and has Veil in hand. We see a Liliana here, potentially. That's 3 mana. Yep.
All right.
Okay, so Snodgrass has the answer, and that is 3 Archons down.
Yep, and it happened while the shields were down, so there was no possibility of well, we're gonna go ahead and transform the Fable here. I think it was technically mistrigger, but you are allowed to let.
You can't miss those triggers.
Okay, sure.
I'm not exactly sure why, but
because the judge said so once.
Yeah.
The end. All right, Liliana doing a great job of taking care of that big monster, but we'll see if Dillingham can put any other pressure on him. And it's just a cycling land and a Veil Summer. The Veil's pretty good, though. Yeah.
Veil could potentially protect this reflection from, a fatal push. I wonder, does Turok target?
That's a good question. I was actually thinking that while we were in sideboarding, but I didn't want to ask because, it might not, and then I look stupid. But now that you've asked, great question, Ross. Let's figure it out.
If it was kicked, target opponent discards 2 cards at random. So a Turok here could be stopped by the Veil, at least the trigger.
All right. Plus discard Seasoned Pyromancer, and now Necromentia. Here's one. Does Necromentia target?
Oh yeah. And Veil, Dillingham getting paid off for keeping that Veil in hand. That Necromentia would have been bad news bears.
All right.
Finds a bolt for the Liliana.
Gross. What a turnaround for Dillingham. This game looked all but over and just hit after hit. Keeps on coming back.
Ooh, has Ren plus cycling land. We don't see this come together that often because we usually need the cycling lands early for mana. But the Ren now going to become a card advantage engine.
Important to note, Dylan did not attack with the 1/1 Dwarf as a preventive measure for Ragavan, I believe.
Yeah.
Now we're going to cycle, and Ren and 6 has turned into a little card advantage engine here for real cards instead of just lands, thanks to that Triumph. Plus here is going to find Fetch, what's going to let us Dwarven Mine, and let's see if
we find another creativity.
Holy crap.
Well, there's only 1 Archon left in the deck, right? So creativity for 2 just plays around a removal spell to get the last Archon.
Okay.
That's still going to be quite good with Snodgrass very low on resources. It'll take him down to no non-land permanents on the battlefield and only 1 card in hand.
That Veil Summer's dirty. Here comes creativity for 2. Might have sided in the Emrakul too, so this might actually be full-fledged.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it could be Archon plus Emrakul. You're right. I would expect him to against Necromentia.
All right, here's an Archon. And he's keeping on flipping. I feel like if there was nothing... Okay, he just turns over the deck. There's nothing left, so it's just the 1 Archon left. We're going to sack the Seasoned Pyromancer, discard one of our last 2 cards, and it's going to be tough sledding for Snodgrass. But if he's able to take care of this Archon, there are very few threats left in Dillingham's deck for him to actually win the game.
Yeah, there are a couple persists. I'm looking at ways to answer an Archon. I don't really... There aren't any Terminates. So I think it's just Liliana of the Veil. Unless Fury combines with something. There's 4... You could double bolt.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just Liliana as far as 1-for-1s here.
All right. Snodgrass discards Ragavan to the trigger from Archon. Dylan draws. Snodgrass goes to his turn. Has Hidatsugu's consumes all, as well as a Dothi Voidwalker. Gonna go ahead and play both of those.
If you can find the Liliana, the Hidatsugu consumes all will exile graveyards and stop persist from being a real threat. But I think there's a bolt in hand. This could be lethal. I think this is 9 with the Archon, bolt plus ping with Ren.
Okay. See if he has it. That's a red card. That's a bolt. We're going to game 3.
Lightning fast.
Yeah, no kidding. Both players here just zooming. Maybe making a couple little mistakes along the way. Maybe it's time to slow down a little bit and really think through the sequencing.
That game was just very back and forth.
Yeah, a lot of haymakers.
The incredible turn 3 from Snodgrass with Thoughtseize, select Archon, it gets exiled from Dothi Voidwalker, cast it.
Imagine how much different the game is, though, if you just have turn 1 Veil Summer.
Well, I mean, he still won, so.
Who's got the chips? Well, no one yet. We got one more game coming to you. But while we're between matches, Ross has already told you what they're going to sideboard. Both players not going to really sideboard too much more, but we're about to get into top 8 here.
They've already presented.
Okay, well.
They're not only playing fast, they are sideboarding fast. They've got dinner plans.
Yeah. Whoever's going to lose, let's make sure that it's fast so that we don't have to be here. It's already dark outside. All right, Dillinham's going to take a mulligan. While Dylan takes a mulligan, I'm going to tell you what these players are playing for. This started off as a 1K plus, and what that means is that with more attendance comes more prizes. Here, 9th through 16th place, going to be $100 store credit, not too shabby. 5th through 8th, $125 cash. 3rd and 4th place, both $175 cash. 2nd place, $350 cash, and 1st, bada bing, bada boom, $550. Put that one in the bank.
If you do the math, that's $1,750 in cash, $800 in store credit.
Nice little payday. 1st and 2nd place also qualifying for the RC in Anaheim as well as the Apex Gaming Season 2 Invitational. We're off. Game number 3, Snodgrass. Turn 1, Thoughtseized. Takes Fable the Mirror Breaker. Sees a hand with Transmog, Bolt, and 3 lands.
And Transmogrify, a lot easier for Snodgrass to answer. A single removal spell will do it.
Yeah, because it has a targeted creature, so it's not as versatile as Creativity.
So I like taking the Fable. Interestingly, Dillingham playing Arid Mesa on turn 1 here instead of the Proving Ground could signal some sort of interaction. I guess we know he has the Bolt.
Yeah, maybe wants to bolt a Dash Ragavan, but Snodgrass not going to walk into it even if he has it. Going to play tapped Blood Crypt. Interesting, no turn 2 play. Probably has a handful powerful 3-drops. Maybe a Necromentia, Liliana.
Could also have Dothy Voidwalker and doesn't want to just run that into the Bolt either.
Sure. There's a lot of value in holding your creatures until you've used something like discard spells or Liliana the Veil to empty their hand of removal. All right, back Ham's way. Got another tap land. Gonna pass it back.
And that is full domain now, so Leyline Binding is going to cost 1. Could we see it come up later?
Inquisition of Kozilek. Let's see if Dillingham drew a Veil Summer. Did not. Reveals 2 bolts, Transmog, and 2 lands. Nothing too threatening. That's an Inquisition that cannot take the Transmog. I'm going to go... Oh, yeah, they caught it. It's fine.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a Lightning Bolt instead, and then Thoughtseize going to take Transmog. No harm, no foul. I did discard spell last turn and held it. Just want to point that out. Maybe heads up from Snodgrass. Waiting a turn to try to get your opponent to draw something a little bit better to take.
Yeah.
That's something I really don't see people do enough, is not casting Thoughtseize or something on turn 1 or 2 when you have it.
And especially if the one he did have the previous term is Inquisition, you know it can't take that Transmog.
Right. All right, 3rd land for Snodgrass. Passes the turn back. Ham plays a Steam Vince.
That's a green card he just drew. Is that the little bit too late Veil of Summer?
Could be, but like I said, man, here comes Necromentia or whatever, or something probably. Or it could be
Turok.
Protected from Turok here is crazy. Gonna double fetch.
Not only do you not discard the cards, because you don't discard the cards, the Turok doesn't even get the counters.
Yeah,
so it's just a 2-1.
Yeah. A 2-1 for 4 mana, and you have to cycle a Veil Summer.
You could trade a dwarf for that.
Big time.
Here it is.
Yeah. Let's see if Veil Summer comes down. It does. It's going to stop the discard. Going to keep the counters. Now we're going to go back Ham's way. See if he has a payoff here.
No, it's drew Leyline Binding off the Veil and now a Stomping Ground for turn. So it's just a couple removal spells and a 5th land.
Goes and gets a white source here. That's going to unlock the binding.
They had that with Rogran Triumph, so I'm not sure what...
Okay, I guess I thought that was Teamer Triumph.
Oh, it's Leyline of
Sanctity, not Leyline Binding. So this is going to protect him from all the discard. Things like Necromentia, sacrifice effects. This is a big deal.
Yeah, definitely wants to get that one down.
Choosing not to play the Hidetsugu Consumes All. I might want to just jam it here, honestly. Just to
get some pressure.
Yeah, because it eventually flips into a big thing, and that big thing can close the game in a few turns.
It's like Snodgrass agrees. Is that Takanuma?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and channel Takanuma. It costs 1 less thanks to the thing in play, the Turok in play. So we can get back Fury. It's reasonable. Could get back Liliana, but the minus doesn't do anything.
Yeah, the -2 not doing anything makes
Plus Fury seems pretty good, though. But Fury is just a big thing.
Yeah, Fury is a lot of pressure. So I think we're going to see... Ooh, and despite knowing about the Fury, Ham using a bolt on the 2-1 there. Not sure if he'll come to regret that or if he just drew another bolt.
Thought I saw another bolt, but we'll see. We're going to go ahead and play the Fury. Let's see if Ham has an answer. Does. Bolt.
That makes sense.
Fury down. No more pressure from Snodgrass' side. He's going to have to put up a real fight here. Dylan Ham's got a few turns to work. Finds Ren in 6. Perfect draw.
That's a very good one.
This is going to allow for multiple copies of Dwarven Mine over the next few turns.
And if you're Snodgrass, maybe you sniff out that Bolt and hold the Fury. Like Hidetsugu consumes all. Now you have the Fury for the Ren. Yeah. So maybe playing a little bit too fast there. His opponent leaked a little bit of information. He didn't use it to his advantage. Looks like Bolt's Seasoned Pyromancer to go along with the Hidetsugu.
All right, Seasoned Pyromancer. Yeah. We're going to discard Bolt and Hidetsugu. I would have probably bolted the Ren at 6.
Doesn't have enough red mana for that. There's three basic swamps.
No Graven Cairns around. That's why the deck plays Graven Cairns, right?
Yeah, well, you got Gothy Voidwalker, Seasoned Pyromancer. So
yeah.
You're trying to curve black into red. Graven Cairns can be helpful, but the Den of the Bugbear also going to be helpful here.
All right, back Ham's way. We went and got a Dwarf. We can make another one, so we can check 2 of these tokens. Ren and 6, not under direct pressure just yet. Den of the Bugbear looming. We're going to ping a token. Must have drawn a land for turn.
Interesting.
Oh. Snodgrass, untaps. Plays a Verdant Catacombs.
How do we expect a Den to be fired up here?
Yeah, unless we drew something like Fury, or another Seasoned Pyromancer.
Thinking.
Mm-hmm.
It took over 20 minutes, but somebody went in the tank.
All right, we're going to fire up this Den of the Bugbear. Oh, this might be a huge misstep from Dylan. Depending on timing, we could have floated a mana maybe and then played Seasoned Pyromancer, but it seems like we went to beginning combat and we chump blocked the 2/2 instead of trading with the 1/1. Okay. Curious.
I think that might be all 4 bolts for Dylan Ham. Maybe just 3. Definitely 3.
Ren ticks up, gets a fetch, and plays it. This can get another Dwarven Mine. We'll see if Snodgrass has anything cool this turn. A Dash of Ragavan.
So this is going to threaten to lethal the Ren, even with a Dwarf block.
All right, Dwarf comes in. Let's see where it blocks. Probably the Rog. Rog down.
Ren down.
All right, and we are collapsing the game down to very few resources from either side. This Rakdos deck playing very nicely from low resources, though, thanks to those graveyard synergies. But Leyline of Sanctity maybe shutting down a few pieces of utility. Necromentia offline. Other discard effects weak.
All the discard got used before the Leyline was cast. So
That's true. Oh, nice top deck. Draw 2. Not bad. Looks like Torok Graven Cairns.
So Torok not so good in the face of the Leyline, just a 2-mana 2/1 really. And yeah, gonna run it out there. This is 7 power. This is a 2-turn clock.
All right, just a land, but that's a Dwarven.
That is notably land 8 and can find Blood Crypt for 2nd Black Source. So a top deck Archon is live here.
Oh, it wasn't a Torok. It's a Dothly Voidwalker. Okay, so that's way worse for Dylan.
Yeah, so this is going to be an attack for 8 to 5 or to 4, fetches to 3. Ooh, gets a Dwarven Mine here.
I mean, it must not have Archon, right? And it's just more so trying to survive. Tarn gets exiled from the Voidwalker.
There's also a question of are you going to top deck Archon or are you going to top deck Creativity? Maybe wants to wait on that.
Yeah, decides to take it. Draws nothing. Dylan Ham packs it in. Jeffrey Snodgrass going to be 5-1-1 and making the cut to top 8 more than likely. Obviously, we can have tiebreaker snafus at some point.